serán como 20 kilómetros. Well, like 15 miles.
Ah.
Did you maybe change into a black shirt?
We already got those pictures, but you could.
Earlier on, when you were talking upstairs, he was explaining me about how the Cohiba appeared. And he said that many of the expensive cigars that we had here in Cuba were only smoked by like Fidel and Che. Ahora estoy explicando lo que me explicó ahorita sobre el Cohiba, cómo apareció. And then the same thing happened. People from the factories would get cigars and they would smoke them and they would give them to their friends, relatives, right? Mm-hmm. And then one of the bodyguards of Fidel had a friend who was a roller in a factory. Mm-hmm. And one time, Fidel saw that guy smoking a cigar and he said, what are you smoking? What type of cigar? He said, no, it's not branded. It's a friend of mine or a colleague of mine, a relative of mine that makes them in the factory, and he gives them to me. And then he had, let me have one. And then he had one, and he said, well, this is one of the best cigars I've ever had in my whole life. And then he said, call your relative. I want to talk to him. Fidel was a very, like, whenever he would talk to you, he would throw like 200 questions in like 3 minutes.
So like talking to your mom, basically.
Yeah. Like, how do you roll these? How do you make it? Like, and then he started to kind of like get into the whole thing of how, when, how does it happen? You know, kind of like what you're doing right now. Like, you want to know about the whole process. And then I said, well, we have to brand this. We have to put a name to this. And then one of the female ladies that fought in their real times in the mountains, named Celia Cruz, was the one that actually put it the name, which was Cohiba.
Okay.
So,
you want to drink something?
I need some water.
Agua. Sí, agua.
You want beer or agua?
Mojito, please.
Yes.
Crystal.
Mojito.
A mí ponme un agua.
So,
Mojito, water. Please.
So when the government branded the cigars, was Cohiba the first brand?
The one created by the government after 1959. The other one already existed. Okay. So the newest one we have is Cohiba.
Okay.
Después del 59, así, ¿cuántas marcas ha creado Cuba? Aproximadamente.
Gracias.
Como 8 marcas.
After 1959, he says like around 8 different brands. ¿Se acuerdan más o menos los nombres?
Sí, no. La primera fue Cohiba.
The first one was Cohiba.
Cohiba después del 59. De la Robaina.
Around the 70s, then Robaina.
Guantanamera.
De
Cuava.
The one you had.
Esta otra. No recuerdo las otras. Esa fue porque la marca antigua.
Simón Bolívar es antigua.
Bolívar es
antigua. Yeah, Simón Bolívar is before 1959.
Montecristo, Julieta.
¿Y el Trinidad?
Trinidad, mira, Trinidad es nuevo.
Trinidad es nuevo.
Entonces se me pillo Trinidad, Guantanamera, Cuava, Robaina, Cohiba. Hay otra más.
Cohiba, sí.
We're
missing 2 yet.
I've got a picture of it on my phone, but I can't pull it up right now. But they showed us in the factory of all the brands.
Yeah, but those are those. Some of them were actually old, like Partagas and Romeo and Juliet and Monte Cristo. Trinidad, estoy tratando de. We're missing 2. We're missing 2 more brands. Which
Punch?
No, Punch is older. Yeah.
So basically, everybody in the world, Europe, South America, they can get all of these cigars from you guys. It's nothing. It's just America's.
Funny, sometimes it's even cheaper in Europe because they don't really have that many problems, like for instance like the States, to get them into the States, which is almost impossible, like commercially speaking.
So it's interesting to think about if the United States was to open it up.
Lo que sucedería si Estados Unidos decide abrir el mercado y los puros cubanos pudieran llegar a Estados Unidos.
How that would affect production.
¿Afectaría eso la producción de alguna manera? We would have to like create more factories. We don't really have the means for like supply the states with cigars.
Farms or just factories? I mean, factories or just farms?
I think both. Dice que en el caso de las fábricas no tendrían esa capacidad o las granjas. Las dos o uno. Mostly the farms, it says.
No, las fábricas sí están.
So the factories they can supply, but mostly the farms, like the raw materials for making it. Habría que aumentar la producción en un 100% prácticamente.
See, and then they'll start genetically modifying so that they can, and then
it'll change the quality.
Yeah.
The quality will go down.
Yeah.
So,
just like what happened, just with
everything.
vegetables and everything.
Everything.
Probably what would happen is that it's actually further for us to send them back to Europe. So it's easier for us to send them. So what I think would probably happen, digo que como es más lejos Europa que Estados Unidos, quizás lo que suceda es que se vende más, se comienza a vender más en Estados Unidos que en Europa. So what might happen is that instead of providing the same amount of cigar to Europe, it's going to be easier for us to send it to the United States because it's closer, and then the tax for transportation is going to be smaller. So we're going to be able to sell it probably even cheaper in the States than in Europe.
So it'll affect Europe probably more than it affect us. So then the United States
you will be stealing the market from them.
Right.
But the law of supply and demand, because everybody in America would all want Cuban, and there would be, I think the price would skyrocket.
Well, it would skyrocket in Europe for sure.
No, it would skyrocket in the States. Like for us, we will still sell at the same time to probably like discount, decreasing the tax, right?
Gracias.
But in the States, then the retailers, right? You call it like that, retailers, shops. They would actually increase the price because it's the first time the Cuban cigars are arriving to the States.
Ask Arsenio how long Janet has had her store.
Su nieta, ¿no? La que está en Tampa. ¿Qué tiempo llevan ya con la tienda?
Llevan como un año.
1 year.
Is it doing good?
Dice que cómo le va.
Bien.
Dice que le va. Yeah, she's doing fine, he says.
They should carry out sneaky cigars.
Dice que qué se puede hacer para que ella comience a vender los cigarros de que sería un honor.
Eso es asunto de él.
Dice that's your business. You should do it.
Got her phone number.
Did you have it?
Yeah.
Dile que los tabacos se venden por 5 o 6 factores.
She says that cigars are sold by 5 or 6 different factors.
El primero es la calidad.
First one is the quality.
Es así. El segundo son los precios.
Then the price.
Es así. El tercero es el marketing o propaganda.
The third one is the publicity, right? Marketing. So that's your job, right?
Yep.
Y el cuarto
And the fourth one
son las relaciones.
is the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Es así.
So he just said like this, which is the size of the factors, right? But then the relationship, important, is like this big.
Sí.
Dice un refrán español
We have a Spanish saying here
que una mano lava la otra
that one hand clean another one, right?
y las dos manos lavan la
But
cara.
then both hands cleans the face.
No pretendan
Do not pretend that
que luego que una mano te lava la cara porque es así.
it's not good to clean your face with only one hand. Like you need both, right? For fully cleaning it.
Yo tengo un anécdota de Estados Unidos, una marca que se llama Ilusiones, no sé si la conoces,
There's one brand in the States which is called
Ilusión.
Ilusión.
que es de Reno, de Nevada, pero de
It's
Río.
from Reno, Nevada.
Río Nevada, no es La Vega, es en Reno. Y la marca es de él,
The brand is from a person from over
y se
there.
llama Ilusiones.
It's called Illusion.
Y yo le hice una muestra
He did the sample for them.
y él hizo una muestra, no me creía, hizo un pedido en una fábrica muy grande.
And he didn't believe him, and he did a big like he did another sample, and he asked that sample to be made to a very big farm or factory.
Y lo llevó a Las Vegas.
And then after the cigar was produced, he brought it to Las Vegas.
Y le digo, no me lo saques para ahí, los kioscos estos que ponen, los stands. Me lo saques hasta que Arsenio no me lo fume.
And then he said, do not sell it till Arsenio tries it. So they already had the cigars in storage, but he said, I want him to try it before we sell them.
Cuando yo fui me dieron uno.
And then when he went over there, he got one. He looked at it. the ring.
Mira, quítale el anillo este
He said you can remove the ring
y ponle desilusión.
and then put to it dissolution.
Este se llama ilusión.
He said your firm is illusion, right? So put it the name on illusion.
Esto no se parece a lo tuyo.
This doesn't look like the ones you produce.
Bueno,
He said to him.
como la marca es tuya, tú la puedes hacer donde te dé
I
la
mean, I
gana.
know you can do whatever you want.
Entonces recogió los 50,000 tabacos la
And then he recovered all the 5,000 cigars he had already produced.
Lo llevó para Reno, le quitó los anillos.
He took them to Reno.
Y
He removed the rings.
Y sacó para la feria los tabacos que yo le había hecho. Que le había hecho la fábrica.
And then he used his sample. And then that was the one that he actually sent the sample to the factory, and then the factory produced that same type of.
Claro que cogió de los 25, cogió premio ese año.
And then out of the 25 most important cigars, this year he got the award.
Y tiene, que vende 3 y 4 millones de tabaco
Por año.
por año.
And yearly he sells more than 3 or 4 million of that cigar.
Ahora tiene uno así pequeñito, mira.
Now he has a very small one.
Para el 52.
It's like
No,
52.
no tan corto como este. Que se llama Rochelle en inglés.
Rocher.
Rochelle,
Rocket. It's called Rocket.
que vende 1 millón de esos.
And he sells 1 million of that alone.
Es 4,5 por 52.
Now they're going to start setting the table.
Oh, okay.
Y siguió, bueno, no lo hizo en esa fábrica, se lo siguió haciendo en la fábrica.
So after that, he started listening to what Arsenio said to him.
Porque no le dio otra cosa, la consistencia. Tú no puedes hacer este muy bueno y este muy malo, tiene que parecérselo los dos.
Yeah, he says that if you are creating a product, then you have to maintain certain balance of quality between your products. Like if you're going to do a good quality product, you have to follow your product on that base. Good quality should be like your baseline, right? You can change the flavor, the strength, but the quality should never change. That's what he actually recommended him to do.
Did he feel like smoking the Atsaniki that it was what he intended the blend to be?
Dice que si usted les hizo la mezcla a ellos del Datsuniki, del tabaco, sí, que dice que si cuando lo probó, que si fue lo que usted quiso, fue lo que usted quería hacer cuando le hizo la mezcla.
Fue lo que me dijeron que hiciera.
Yeah, it was like, it's like what he did yesterday, that he asked you, what do you want? And then he did something, and then he said, I did what you wanted me to do. It's like he got the result you wanted, right?
Sí.
Because you said the specific cigar you wanted, and that's
Yep.
This one's mine, right? 12, Arsenio.
Sí, sí. Oye, pues todavía el hombre este año.
¿Todo bien? ¿Desean algo más para tomar?
Everything's okay?
Yeah, we're good. Yeah, gracias.
Cuando fuma un tabaco que no está como él le gusta. Ese Arsenio,
¿Quién es?
que se llama Dion,
De allá de Pinar.
de Reno, Nevada.
Ah, ya.
Arsenio, desilusión. Porque no se lo olvidó que yo le dije.
Yeah, and then whenever that person smokes a cigar he doesn't like, he says, Arsenio, desilusión is like an illusion. Like not a fake illusion, you know, like a bad word, because now he says that word a lot whenever he doesn't really like a taste of the cigar. I don't think you have a word to say like the opposite of illusion.
Illusion?
Illusion, yeah.
Like
Real-
ILL?
Yeah.
Reality?
An illusion.
An illusion. What's the opposite of that?
Reality.
Real.
Real.
Like in our Spanish,
Yeah.
illusion, it's like something that you hope. Like that's a misconception. That's why I was translating wrong. Illusion for us is like a hope. Like
Dream.
You waiting a lot. You're waiting for something to have expectation, right? And then the opposite of expectation is disappointment. So in that wordplay, the brand it's called like hope, which is illusion, right, in Spanish. But then there's like a suffix you add to that word, which means disappointment, which is desilusión.
We have disillusionment in English.
But I think what would it mean?
If you're disillusioned, you have expectations and they don't meet your expectations.
Yeah, disillusion. That would be the word. Yeah. It's more, but for us, it's kind of like